Mm-hmm. And then they'll charge me 236s, right? Which again, right? All right. So as I'm trying to close my refi deal, the other company, the money source, wants to keep my money for 12 days before they'll send me my escrow account. Why is that? Mm-hmm. I mean, they're paid off, right? But I gotta wait 12 days plus 7 to 10 to get the money. That's almost 3 weeks, I know. But I guess that's to protect them and not me, huh? I know. In what way? I know. I mean, does that sound fair to you, Mr. Trump? You're in the real estate business. You know what I mean about bullshit rules. I know. And bullshit people who don't want to give you your money when you need your money. I know. You don't know about that? Mm-hmm. But again, we all have to play by the rules, huh? I know. Yep. Yep. But you're a businessman. You're not used to being under so many rules, are you? Right. Either. So much scrutiny, right? But the problem is, you are now. You can't play by the same rules you did in your business practices because some of them might be considered unethical, right? Especially if you have to sign a non-disclosure agreement to get someone even to go out there to see you and or do your little seminar things, right? But if you got to do that, what are you revealing? Something good or something bad? That's what most people want to know, right? I don't know either, but anyway, you're president now. Congratulations. Maybe another 4 years. I don't know. All depends on how they play it out in the, voting next, the next election, right? Of course, we're voting for minor things this year, right? The 2-year termers, right? Mm. But anyway. So, lot going on. More children are dying from being left in their parents' car. Another child died in Phoenix, according to ABC News this morning. Um, which I watched here on WJCL 22, doing a commentary on it, right? Wondering why is this happening? Now, I understand if you're late for work or something, right? And you're supposed to take the child to school or pre-K or whatever, the nursery, and you're not used to doing that, maybe. But you can't do that even one time, right? That's the problem, right? See, what I learned growing up is some things you might kind of get away with, and some things you can't, right? Not even once, right? The person who keeps bringing up pedophilia don't want to realize I know that, right? And I can't make them. That's not my job. And see, what they're doing is trying to use the diagnosis of paranoid schizophrenia to say I wouldn't know the difference. No, I would. No, I would. Why would I? Because it didn't really hit me till I was 23 after a lot of stress of being around my shipmates in the church I was going out to, which both were acting a little odd sexually towards me. The shipmates were acting, even if I was gay, which could be associated with the church as well. I don't know. The only way they would know is if they went out there too and they're lying about it. Right. And something happened with them in the church, right? Right. Same if I was attacked on base at the fall instead of fell. I don't know which happened because I blacked out for a few hours. And I ain't saying a thick concrete window ledge can't knock you out either. That would be crazy too. Nor a car windshield, I wouldn't know. That would be the first time I went through that too. And I just blacked out and woke up at the hospital there too. So that's 2 accidents, right? But see, someone's getting all defensive. Now, if it's my ex-girlfriend, that's one thing. I would kind of understand why she's trying to be protective of her son to a point, but why would she even tell me unless she wanted to resolve the issue eventually as well? Scott, who was the only guy around her when she did all that and told me the same story she told me. Well, here's your problem, Scott. Both you and Mary Bell. You can't say you're Mary Bell and me believe you. All Mary Bell has to do, though, is post a video of her and Patrick showing me they're okay, right? I don't even need to hear it from you, right? I'm not supposed to hear it from you, just her. See, I'm kind of worried about her and him, right? Because, see, there's another thing that might could have happened if they got the DNA test before they divorced, right? He could have murdered her if he was a bitch about it. Not that I can prove that either, because I'm in Georgia, I don't know nothing about it, right? But whoever's attacking me is trying to deny it still, right? Like they're Mary Bell, but Mary Bell would know by now, one way or the other, right? Unless Scott murdered her and Patrick, because you got to murder them both too. You can't murder one or the other. That'll be a double homicide, Scott. That's why I'm calling this person a homicidal bastard towards me and maybe my ex-girlfriend, because that's what they're acting like. Ain't you, is it, Scott? Question mark, allegedly. See, I can say that and say that. Now, it's not, again, tabloid reporting. It's you're the last person around her when I called and talked to her in 2000, what? Itself, right? He was born in 97, right, Scott? He was only a 3-year-old little boy, Scott. You could easily crush them both, maybe. Allegedly. Couldn't you? But, did you? Question mark. Where is my ex-girlfriend? I've seen pictures of her, right? Taken by other people. I don't know. But if it is her, she's making me think you murdered her, or Patrick, right? Or she murdered Patrick or something, right? If she found out he was mine, I don't know what's going on, right? See, she thinks she has telepathy. She told me she thinks she can communicate with Junior when we were dating, and acts like that's normal, I know. But he didn't answer her, she said, too. He ignored her, right? But I don't know what's going on, right? If it's you or her, hiding behind a thin veil, I do know, though, she was fine when she called me, and either you put her up to it, or because you figured it out, or she figured it out, and you wouldn't divorce her, right? Not sure which. That is what I know about it. But whoever this is, they don't even want me talking about it. It could be her if she wanted to have your baby, but, you know, and she can't be reasoned with at all. But that would just mean she didn't love me like I loved her. That's all that would mean to me, right? And I just gotta kind of figure out what's going on from there, right? Unless you're suggesting she murdered the child, which I don't know that either. Now, she can come back without the child because he's old enough to be on his own by now, right? But, I still don't know if he's alive or dead either. Don't know nothing about it. Except people keep bringing up things from the past that have nothing to do with anything that my ex-wife or my stepdaughter could have charged me with and can charge me with up to a year, because Virginia is one of the states that's allowing you a year to file if something like that happened to you. Now that's why I was, and will be. Because I'm keeping up with the times, right? Understand what I went through, what I'm going through, and what I'm doing tomorrow is always to mind, right? So anyway, on to more interesting matters. So the police officer was charged, the one who shot her, neighbor, though in the same complex, right? And that depends on how distracted she was. But she was found guilty by her peers, I guess, right? Was any police officers on the jury? That she wasn't, charged by her peers. There wasn't a police officer on the jury. She wasn't charged by her peers. So see, you don't know what it's like, jury, to work all day, a 14-hour shift, come home, and find some stranger possibly in your house and how you would react. But a police officer would. You can only guess that. So you're going to be convicted by a jury of your peers. If she's a police officer, you don't understand what it's like to pull a 14-hour shift. This is for her defense attorney, by the way. Not that I can, do anything about it myself. But she's got to be tried by a jury of her peers who would understand what she was doing in the wrong apartment anyway, and how she might have missed that she was on the wrong floor by floor. Now, she also could have went to the second floor instead of the third floor, but she does know it's higher on the elevator button, right? You know what I mean. When you press the button, right? If you press 3 instead of 4, right? And the door closes and no one's there, right? And you're chatting with your boyfriend on the phone or fiance or whatever. Then you go into your apartment, which is in the same area as the other person's apartment. And you're kind of still chatting or whatever, and you go in and there he is, right? And in your apartment. That's how you would be thinking too. Some guys in my apartment, sitting on my couch eating ice cream, right? See, when you judge something, you gotta be impartial and fair. You gotta listen to the whole evidence, not say, oh, it was because he was black. No, what if it was a white guy in the same apartment as where she thought hers was located? She's walking in a familiar pattern, right? Only difference is she hit the 4th floor button instead of the 3rd, right? But still thought it was her floor, right? And was walking home, walking to her apartment. It's like a guy being choked from behind because he's resisting arrest, right? Well, I can be trying to put the person in a headlock, but if he's resisting arrest, it can appear as a chokehold. There's also the sleeper hold, which is to kind of put you to sleep. Both those, if the person is resisting arrest, can look like a chokehold when it's not. But if the person is resisting arrest and moving around and the officer is smaller than them, yes, they might look like a chokehold. Is it really one? I don't know. There are different holds, 3 of them at least, that you can put on a person that might appear like a chokehold. Headlock, sleeper hold, and then chokehold itself. But I also got to be charged with the jury of my peers. At least 2 of the juries have to be a police officer so they can explain what it's like to work a 14-hour shift to the other panel of the juries. Yes, you did. Yes, you do. Or that's not a jury of her peers. Maybe her lawyer can do something about that. And don't say I'm just trying to get her off because she's kind of sandy blonde with blue eyes and I'm a brunette with brown eyes. I'm just putting myself in her shoes. If I was a police officer pulling a 14-hour shift and you're not. And how tired I would be. Now, you can't be all out to get law enforcement for making human error like anyone else can make either. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. So let's see if we got any comments this morning. So they're calling up Giuliani, Mr. Trump's lawyer, about the Ukraine thing.
Now, the Democrats are doing a Clinton and a
Now,
Nixon.
he might need a lawyer.
Trump, trying to stick the things he does, like Joe Biden's son didn't have some unusual dealings with Ukraine, didn't make money there either, right?
And today I was 323. I'm still down about 4 pounds to 5 pounds. Although I went as high as 329. Still under 330 though. Which I was 170 when I fell. So I'm trying to keep it under 340 anyway. Which is double my weight. Though again, I got the bad leg. So I still got the bully mentality. M6 is saying fat. And boy, if you don't get ha funny memes too, right? So I'm going to ask them a question. So you don't have even an ounce of fat on your body, right? So you think because you are thinner and healthier, probably too, that this is a real comparison. So I asked them, so you think because you are thinner and healthier that this is a real comparison, right? See, some people can dish it out, but they can't take it when you deal it back to them, right? And then they want to murder you because you're telling them the truth they don't want to admit to, right? They become murderous and think that's God. No, that's Satan. No, by the way. Who can't handle the love of God and wants to sin because God loves him, right? You're missing the butt. Mm-hmm. You don't understand that. Mm-hmm. So, now 10 hours ago, M6 says you still can't play the piano well. A 6-year-old can play better than you. Mm-hmm. So I want to ask them, well, how long have they been practicing, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oops. I did a few typos. Oops, missed the P. Thought I hit it. Right. Which are on YouTube. Oops, I left out the C too for practices, right? I put Pratt. This is. But see, Lieutenant Guzman Yeoman would still be a better typist than me, or King, or Ben, right? But if he did it, he would be under duress by King or Ben. Maybe. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm having to do this like Murder, She Wrote, by the way, in case my shipmates tried to type a letter to Sheena so they wouldn't get recognized as not being my handwriting. Because, see, I was only writing her handwritten letters, right? They can't do that in case you do a handwriting comparison. That's what I mean, right? See, if they type a letter to Sheena, no one can trace it back to the ship, huh? Right? Unless they use the same typewriter and it's still on the ship. I don't know. But other than that, okay, I never had a typewriter. That's not part of the assignment of being an electrician, right? And the yeoman would type up the reports for Lieutenant Guzman, and he's a E4, or a third class petty officer in the Navy, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now he's denying I was using it for 5 years, right? And said nope. So I'll say yep. Oops, missed the line for some reason again. Thought I hit it right. Mm-hmm. But I'll put an exclamation point, right? Now, all an exclamation point means is you're making the point solidly, right? Some might can say you're yelling a little bit, but we've been arguing for 14 years. You'll understand that. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm thinking about getting an automatic BB gun shooter. But, right. Now, they got the money on the 26th, so I got to count 12 business days. So that's Friday will be 1. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That's 6. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's the 11th of October. And then the 14th is when they'll, again, I don't know, release the funds or whatever. And then I gotta wait another week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Till about the 23rd, maybe, or the 25th before they'll send it to me. And see, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. People also want to rush you into a deal, but they don't follow through. You know what I mean? Right? And they should have got the money on the 25th, right? I'm also worried they might charge me a day interest, too, right? On that shit. No. That means they're going to get some of my escrow money, right? Now, I'm on the ass of the Loan Depot who I'm doing the loan with, right? Because I want it by the 25th, right? So originally they told me the 28th, I believe, right? But again, now it's the 25th, right? That does not sound like someone's trying to screw you, though you're not doing nothing wrong. You know. They might be. You know. They're getting exposed, but you're not doing nothing wrong yourself. They're looking like a bunch of homicidal maniacs who might have knocked me out on dates instead of me just falling too, aren't they? Looking like it's not accusing you still questioning, right? So now back to practice, right? Now you gotta practice every day. Get better. Not bad, not bad. So, so when you're playing an instrument, you gotta learn how to play it within the guidelines of the suggested playing style. Too. That's another way you got to learn to play it. Now, what I'm doing is I'm trying to learn how to do the correct bow techniques for it too, right? So it's not just picking up the instrument and playing Mary Had a Little Lamb either. Now, damn. We're going to work on You Are My Sunshine again. But I want to work on the notes individually too. Now this one does go up to A. And what it means is the D is the E, F sharp, G, A2. You see how these two notes sound alike? When I play them? Well, that's because this one goes up to the A. Oops, I'm doing the bow wrong. Now this one here goes up from the A to the B to the C sharp to the E. And this one here is the E, and it goes up to the F sharp, G, A, and that should be the G again, right? Now, the thing is, alright, this one here is a G, right? So the G string can only go up from the G, right? And again, though, you can also play it all the way up to the top thing here, right? So the higher you go up, it's supposed to sound like the other notes, but because it is a low string, right, you might not get the perfection of the other strings, right? Little thing you might want to understand about stringed instruments, right? Now, I'm still working on my bow technique, though, right? I'm not sure how to play the bow properly, right? Yeah, then that's another thing, right? So I'm working on that too, right? It's not just, again, picking up the violin and making a bunch of noise, right? So, now we're going to work on You're My Sunshine. The first two notes are the B, D, then to the E, then to a double F, Wow, wrong. Yeah. No, that's right. Now, progression is what you're looking for, though. This is the fifth day, or sixth, yeah, fifth day or sixth day, somewhere in there. Alright, so of playing the actual instrument. You just want a little progression, right? To show you're getting a tiny bit better day by day, right? Now, usually that's what you do the most. You practice day by day. And you should see a little bit of improvement every day. Not all at once, right? Either. So we're going to see if we can do it on flute. Okay, there I went a little bit to the G instead of the F, but you do see me playing the recorder a little bit better than the violin, right? You hear the melody more. Whoops, I did that too fast. So I'm getting a little confused about the notes, but so I'm getting to this certain point, right? Then I'm missing the melody a tiny bit. That's also called kind of freestyling it, even though again you're messing up too, right? But what that means is when you do that, what you're doing is something like this. You're trying to add other notes to it, right? That makes it sound similar but a little different, right? That's called freestyle. So now you should be able to do both. That play the original melody and freestyle a little. I'm wanting to drag it out more, is what it is too, right? Okay. Plus, I'm doing raw melody there. It's supposed to be, please don't take my sunshine away, and I'm trying to do the original beginning melody, and that's where I'm doing it wrong. So, what's going on is I'm hearing the melody 3 times instead of 2 times like it is on the sheet music, right? So, let's see. I'm singing a little. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Okay. Now it sounds like the F, or actually, yeah, the F should be double there, or the E, and but that's how they got it written too. It sounds like the E should be a double E, right? Instead of they made it a 3-beat note. I forgot a third or whatever it's called, right? It's half note with an extra quarter there. I forgot what they call it, but anyway, let's look that up real quick. uh For clarification there. Now, every instrument, though, is playable. And you should be able to play melodies on the guitar. And yet, the guitar is different too, right? Because it's a stringed instrument as well. With the guitar, you go E on the low string all the way up to, what is it? E on the 6th string, right? Which is the thin, what? So that's the, we go. Oh, it's not responding yet, sorry. There you go. Rings, right? Ah, there it is. Now, the note is represented in sheet music as both how long you hold the note, right? Which if it's a whole note, that's 4 beats per minute, right? That's in 4/4 time, right? So there's two types of musical notes, right? Okay, you got the C or do. Do, D or re, re, E or me, F or fa, fa, G or sol, A or la, B or t, C or do, do. Now, in Indian music is sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni, sa. They're the same notes. They're the same notes. Sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni, sa. So, so this doesn't say what the, it has the notes, but whole, half, quarter, eighth, 16th, 32nd, right? So I need to know something different than that, right? Okay. Let's go for a direct lead. Right. What is the half? Oops. Hit the S. Note with the dot. Oh, And so the dot increases the duration of the basic note by half of its value. So if it's next to the half note, it's 3 beats per minute, right? If it was the quarter note, right, it would be a half extra beat per minute, not a whole. There, I don't know. Now you also got 3 clefs, but like I told you before, my music teacher, because we were still in high school, just taught us the G and the F clef, not the C clef, right? That's more for altos and maybe tenors, right? As well. Now you might can even do a contralto. Um, mm-hmm. 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 Now these are from the sites you can get from Googling the information. Right? This is from Stack Exchange, Music Practice and Theory. This talks about the 3 dots means, right? So that would be if it's okay in 4/4 time, a half note is 2 beats. There will be 2 quarter notes left in the measure. A dot half note is 2 plus 1, which is 3 beats. A double dotted note is 1 plus 2 plus 0.05, right? But you also got to go lower. A triple dotted note is 2 plus 1 plus 0.05 plus 0.25, right? Which is 25. For 3.75 beats. There will be a 16th left in the measure, right? This sequence, which is a geometric series, converges to twice the original note value as you add more dots, right? Now, that's all you can add, though, too, right? Because you could add a 30 seconds, though, right? Which is like a 0.16. Or I'm saying 0.125, right? That would still be less than 4 beats, right? That would be all you can add, right? Unless you want to go into, 64th, right? Then that would be what? 12.5 divided by 2, right? Which is 6.25, right? Mm-hmm. But you can do all that up to that value, right? As long as it don't go over 4 beats from measure, right? So, I'll join the community or something. Oops. Okay. Mm-hmm. It's called a minim, and well, that's another name for the half note itself. I'm sorry, that's not right. Now, 3/4 time is 1, 2, and 3, right? Now 6/8 though isn't is the same as 3/4. Why? Because it's double the value, and when fractions you reduce to the lowest common denominator. But because the second note is an eighth note, right? It's 1 la li, 2 la li, 3 la li, right? That's the most you can do there, right? And for 16th, it's 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and again 4 times. Now 1 and 2, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now the eighth note is a half. Is a half beat lower than the quarter note, so that's 1 and 2 and 3 and you can also do 1 and 2 and 4 too. But that's kind of more like an eighth note with the 16th, right? Towards the end. So that's 1 and that's more like an eighth note with the 16th note. Now, some of you got to understand when it comes to popular music, they kind of select people no matter how talented they are for some reason, right? You can't all expect for what they're doing to be picked, right? Even if you're real talented as well. Reason is they have a show to fill and they have so many slots to fill, and that's why it's a competition, right? Now, they're not necessarily better than you, but they know what they're looking for, right? It's a complete package they're looking for. If you don't fit that package, don't even worry about it. It's not you, it's them. In other words, sometimes, right? They just got a preset motion of what they want. And that's not your fault or on you, right? That's on them, what they want. Don't ever forget that, though, right? It's not you, it's them. It's not you, it's them. Mhm. 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 You can't hold on to the check, I know. No, you can't get a deposit, I know. I'm disabled, I'm getting confused, right? Mhm. Mhm. Just checking my email. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Sorry. Mm-hmm. 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 I don't know. So I'm gonna at least try. He'll at least try. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that do. Yeah, that do. Oh, you do. No, no. I know. Mhm. Mhm. Right. Mhm. 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 Uh, Mhm. Mhm. Uh, I know. Oh, I know. I know. I'm just kind of certain. And it's almost like what you. Mhm. Mhm. She's just looking. Mhm. 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 So I can do for now, certain little thing. Mhm. 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 First, like I said, I don't even know what I can do right. I'm just sending a few flirts, right? Mhm. 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 That's what I'm trying to figure out. All right. Mhm. Mhm. And I'm told I'm not promising my commitment. No. Yeah. Mhm. Mhm. Right. No, right. Mhm. 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 Right. That's all. Mhm. Date. Exactly. Wow. Mhm. Sorry, I'm looking at my new dating site and I just got so many hits I can't even talk to them all. I'm trying to at least send them a flirt and they only allow me 5 flirts a day or whatever that means. Now, let me explain to you, ladies. If you commit to me, I can commit to you, but that means you treat it like a normal relationship and don't go off with your boyfriend or your ex or his friend Steve. Then I won't think you don't even want me and you're using that as an excuse. Yeah, yeah. Unless they're threatened us both with physical violence, which they can't do, right? That's just the threat, honey. If you don't understand that, you're not a good girlfriend anyway. Mm, okay, right. Mm, all right. So we're done for now.